This might be the wildest comic crossover of the year. Jay and Silent Bob, Archie and the Pussycats all in one issue. Snoochie Boochies in Riverdale. Let's talk about that in this video. Hello everyone, Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for Archie meets Jay and Silent Bob #1. This is a new book from Archie Comics. This is a one-shot, so it's an oversized one-shot. I believe 52 pages around there. This is written by Kevin Smith with pencils by Fernando Ruiz, inks by Rich Koslowski, colors by Matt Herms, and letters by Jack Morelli. And then, of course, a plethora of variant covers. It's going to be very difficult when I'm at the shop trying to figure out which one's my favorite. I think Francesco Francavilla has right now moved to the top of the list, but also Dan Pinochet is one of the artists that I really love the cover. So I was very excited about this, having just watched Dogma very recently, and I'm a pretty big fan of Kevin Smith, and I also really like Archie stuff. I wouldn't call myself like a diehard Archie fan, but I'm always kind of there for like the bigger things, like Archie versus a Predator, or maybe Archie's meeting some other property. Of course, grew up, with the Josie and the Pussycats movie and all that stuff. So Sabrina, the Netflix show. So like I'm pretty familiar with the Archie universe, but never in my wildest dreams did I think that they would like crossover in this, like those two properties crossing over. It feels like the most wholesome property in Archie, kind of crashing in a collision course with one of the crudest properties in Jay and Silent Bob, right? So let me tell you a little bit about this book. In this issue, Archie lands a summer job at the Quick Stop in Riverdale, in New Jersey, and meets Randall, Jay, and Silent Bob. What starts off as a normal shift spirals into the hilarious chaos when the gang crashes a Josie and the Pussycats concert. A potential new love interest surfaces, and Jay and Silent Bob's antics test Riverdale's charm. Archie is entangled in his classic Betty Veronica dilemma, with the VUSQ universe crashing into Riverdale in a mature, double-sized crossover event. Uh, I like that Kevin Smith has talked about this because this takes place after the third Clerks movie. Uh, so there, I mean, if you haven't seen the movie, there'll be like the big spoiler there for you. But Kevin Smith said this is 100% canon, so I'm super on board. I think there's such a, it's almost like when you feel like you're watching something you're not supposed to be watching, especially when you were a kid, like like maybe a movie that somebody threw on, or your other cousins or something like that. Like, I'm not supposed to be seeing this, but this is all happening right in your face. That's what it feels like, right? I think Kevin Smith really leans into how crude the VSQ universe is, and some of his characters, specifically like Randall and Jay, who really have no filter, and then how that comes across with Archie, who's a very wholesome character. Like, they take the most wholesome version of Archie for this book. So I think, just if you're a fan of either of these properties, I think you'll have a really good time with it. I really love the art. It really feels like I'm reading an Archie comic from the digest at the grocery store. Like, it's really cool to see the Jay and Silent Bob universe characters dropped into that. This has a lot of very, like, it's all very much Kevin Smith dialogue. So if that's something that doesn't vibe with you, you may not have the greatest time. But like I said, I'm a fan, specifically of the Clerks films, which is kind of what this really feels like. It just really feels like another piece of the Clerks universe. So that's really fun. And the fact that it's a one shot, it's a one and done. There's very low level of entry, and you get to see a lot of not only cameos from the VSQ universe, but also from the Archie universe. Like, the fact, whenever they mentioned that they were going to see Josie and the Pussycats, I was like, oh, super cool. You also check in on some other characters on Riverdale. There's classic Betty Veronica shenanigans, because I feel like everybody that writes Archie wants to put their little twist and their little spin on that relationship. So this hits all the marks for me. There's so many cool covers, and I'm very excited to to like go to the shop and actually pick one out. Like I said, I'm kind of leaning towards the Francavilla cover, because it almost looks like not so much horror, but it's a little bit more darker tinted. But we'll see. There's so many covers. I'm gonna be really looking forward to seeing this at the shop. So if you have read this book, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. Let me know which cover you picked up. Big shout out to the team over at Archie Comics for letting us read this. And of course, stay tuned because we will have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.